Found my yellow shirt. I bought out my mustard shirt for this. We are ballin' and bougie on a budget. Hey guys, welcome back to KrissBeauty. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina. Some of you call me Kriss, others Tina. Whatever you prefer, girl, that's fine with me. So today we're going to be recreating Kim Kardashian's David Letterman interview look. When I seen this look all over TikTok, y'all, I fell in love with it. I have seen some TikTokers recreate it, and honestly, I'm like, found my yellow shirt. I bought out my mustard shirt for this. I did the hair and everything, and today I'm actually going to be following Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, Ash K Holm. She posted this tutorial using a model that looks very similar to Kim K, so she can show us how and what techniques she used on Kim Kardashian for that interview. Y'all, I have watched this makeup tutorial and it just makes me so much more excited. I got out the gold hoops. Of course, today's going to be the affordable drugstore edition because we are ballin' and bougie on a budget. So if you are not already subscribed to KrissBeauty, go ahead and do so. Turn on your bell notifications and let's get started. So I got like the whole thing going on right now. I got the braid. We don't have much hang time, but you know, it's okay. It's all right. We're going to make it work. I am fully moisturized, but I didn't want to do too much prepping before this makeup tutorial because she does a lot of her own like skincare and like she does her own techniques, and I really want to make sure that we are going by the actual tutorial. I'm already sweating, but the one thing that I did do was moisturize because I am a little bit on the dry side, but we are just gonna go straight into it. I have this playing on my laptop, so I'm gonna be using my headphones. So I will be inserting some clips here so you guys can follow along. So a lot of the makeup tools and the makeup products that she uses, of course, is on the higher end. So of course I had to go through my own makeup stash and I had to find things that are kind of sort of dupes. So I'm just excited, you guys. Let's jump right in. By the way, I moisturize with the NIBIA cream. Everything that I use on and off of camera I will link down below in the description box. All right, y'all, so let's get started. I'm like super blind, so all right, y'all, so we are going to get started. I have you guys zoomed on in. Again, I am playing it on my laptop, so I'm gonna see how this goes, honestly, because I can't really see well without my glasses and the screen is a little far, but you know what, we're gonna make it work. Okay, so she's starting off with a sort of like a rose water. I love rose water, and the one that I specifically love is the Wet n Wild Rose Primer Water, but today I only have the Cucumber Primer Water. I don't think it makes like a huge difference, so I'm gonna start off with this. Oh, I love the way this smells. Like, it smells so like fresh. As you can see, she's using a lip mask from Ciate. I got myself my Wet n Wild sleeping mask. I love this mask because it's not too like sticky, but it definitely does like hydrate the lips. So this is the Wet n Wild Perfect Pout sleeping mask, and she's applying that with like a little brush. I'm going to be taking this City Color Cosmetics brush. This is the CCL01 brush, and I'm just going to try to follow along, you know, be a little bougie-esque and apply the lip mask with a brush. Okay. Okay, so she's going in with a Luminous sort of dewy like oil. I don't really use oils, but I really have been meaning to use them, especially because I have dry skin. So I wasn't able to find an oil per se. I do have the CEO Glow Vitamin C oil from Sunday Riley. This was like a little sample that I got like a while back. So I'm gonna sort of like mix that in. She uses like a dense brush. So I'm gonna mix that vitamin C oil. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and sort of mix that in with the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. This is a really great hydrating primer. And of course she's applying it with the brush. This feels so weird, like applying this with the brush, but I guess like that's more like sanitary, right? I don't know. Okay, so next she's gonna go ahead and prime the eyes. She does take something more of like a skin tone based a little bit more on the warmer side. So I am going to take my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, the satin finish one in light beige. Use this in every single video, of course. So it seems like she's starting off with the eyes today, and I'm a little nervous because, you know, we all have our own ways of like doing things, but I'm just gonna trust the process, you know? I'm taking a flat concealer brush. And now she's gonna take a beauty blender. I'm taking the e.l.f. Duo sponge, and I'm just pressing that concealer in. Okay, so she's just gonna brush some translucent powder over her eyelids just to sort of like set that concealer in place. Of course, I'm gonna take my Airspun loose setting powder. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the AOA Studio brush E129. She takes a very small amount and she's just brushing it back and forth. Okay, so of course, because this is Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, she uses a lot of KKW beauty products. I don't own KKW at all, and for no particular reason besides I am just a little bit, I don't know, I just have the products that I like, and I tend to like find more of like drugstore products that would cater to me. So for today's look, I'm going in with the Paris Hilton Beauty Is My Business 36-piece eyeshadow palette. I picked this thing up from Ross. It was literally $6. But it is such like, it's so good. Like, honestly, love it. This palette in particular has like a side that has a lot of like warm tones in it. I think it will really suit today's tutorial, so I'm gonna try to use this, and if we need anything else we'll just grab it. But she's starting off with like this sort of pale shade in the KKW palette. I feel like it looks very similar to this. It has a little bit of a pinkish sort of like undertone to it, and it's the lightest shade. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Dazzle. So I'm grabbing the same brush and she's just going right along the eyelid. Okay, so this shade is definitely coming up as more of like a, I don't know, sort of like a base look. On the model that Ash is doing makeup on, it seems to come up a little bit more tan and orange. So I think I want to like mix Dazzle and Love Spell. Love Spell is sort of like that, I don't know, it's sort of like a dusty peach. So I'm just gonna take very little of that. Yeah, this is definitely what I'm looking for. So a little bit of that orange peach tone for sure. Okay, so now she's going in with like a warm tone like brown. So I'm going to take the shade Cupcake right here. This is actually like a really nice like bronzy type of shade. And I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M506. And this is more of like a tapered sort of like brush. And she's just applying that like in the inner corner. Okay, so she uses a clean brush and she's just buffing this out. Okay, so it seems like she's continuing to bring that like warm brown shade across the lid, but specifically in the crease. Okay, I'm just gonna use the Morphe M456 brush, and I'm going to use that to sort of, I guess, blend this out a little bit. Okay, so for the light tan shade, I'm going to go in with Cupcake, which is what we use in the crease. And then I'm also going in with Love Spell. And for the brush, I'm going in with the AOA Studio E128 brush. So for like that mustardy brown sort of like type of vibe that she's using, I'm gonna go in with, I kind of want to go in with Twig and Queen. And this is just like to deepen up the crease a little bit. So I'm just gonna use what I have, honestly. I'm gonna take the Morphe M433 brush and I'm just tapping into both of those shades actually. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my AOA Studio E129 brush because I noticed that her eyes are a little bit like more smoked out. So I just want to use this like very lightly to bluff. I want to use this very lightly to buff this out just a little bit. Okay, I'm taking the Morphe M124 brush and she takes like sort of like a, I don't know, a very light shade. So I'm going in with the lightest shade in this palette, which is called Sand. And she just lightly goes right under the brow with that. Alright, so now we're moving on to my favorite part, which is the skin. She uses Giorgio Armani, a sort of like luminous sort of type of foundation. So we're gonna stick with the basics. I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation. I'm gonna be using shade 128. I used to use the shade like 220. I don't know why, but she does want to go in with like a more tan sort of look. This is my shade, but you know, it's a little bit golden. So I'm gonna be using that on a ColourPop F15 brush. I know Ash uses a specific brush from, I believe, KVD Beauty, but we're going to be using this today. She's starting off on the jaw. Okay, and she's definitely going down the neck. I'm trying to follow the strokes that she's like using. Oh, she sets the neck with translucent powder already. She's wearing a turtleneck, so I guess because she doesn't want it to transfer. So I'm going to take my Wet n Wild P65 brush, a little bit of my Airspun, and I'm just going to set this neck. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this foundation so I could apply it to my forehead. Okay, I'm going in with my e.l.f. sponge. Okay, so now she's going on to my second favorite part, which is contour. She's using the KKW contour stick. Today I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place foundation stick. This is in the shade Mozambique. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm going to be leaving it in the description box. Anyways, she's using a brush for this particular part, and it makes me so excited. Like, I love my foundation like routine, but I love trying out new things. So anyways, I'm gonna go in with like a fluffy sort of dense type of brush, and she just puts this on the back of her hand like a professional. No, she totally is a professional. And then I'm just going to saturate my brush. I'm going to switch over brushes and go to the E126 brush from AOA Studio. It's just a little bit more dense. This one is a little bit too like fluffy for me. Yeah, this is definitely like, it's definitely better. I just find this so interesting because I would never like think to like do this technique. This is why it's so important to like just continue to like do your research and definitely like expand like your learning, because you can never like learn too much no matter like what field you're in, because this is like, this might be my new technique. So I am actually going to switch over to the shade Namibia from Juvia's Place. It is a little bit more rich. I just want to create a little bit more of a contour effect. Okay, so she only uses like the sort of stippling brush to apply the contour, but I am gonna go in with my sponge and sort of diffuse that a little bit. Okay, so now it seems that she's going back in with that concealer shade that we used to prime the eyes, just to go down the nose. Alright, so we're getting down to contouring the nose. Of course, I'm taking that concealer brush again, which by the way was the Morphe M421 brush. Okay, so she's letting this sit, and now she's gonna go in with like sort of a corrector to go under her model's eyes. I don't really do correctors. Honestly, I can't even remember the last time that I've corrected under my eyes at all. So I really had to go digging through my stash for this one. But I was able to like find this really sad used up palette from BH Cosmetics. This was the BH Cosmetics Cream Contour Palette. Clearly it's missing the top. It's struggling here. She uses sort of like a peach tone sort of corrector. So I'm gonna have to sort of like concoct something. I'm gonna take like this really deep orange shade and then some of these like peach tone shades up here, and we're gonna have to put this in the empty pan. So I'm gonna start off with some orange, and then I'm gonna go to the lightest shade. Okay, it's still a little bit too orange, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of the light concealer shade. Okay, so this is what I came up with right here. I'm gonna take my AOA Studio E131 brush, because she takes sort of like a concealer brush, and I'm very particular about my under eyes, so this is gonna be fun. Okay, I'm actually gonna switch over brushes. So I'm gonna take the AOA Studio E125 brush. It's more of a fluffy brush, which I'm not used to at all, but again, I'm just trying to trust the process. I don't know if I must have missed when she like blended out like the nose, but I'm just gonna use my blender to just buff this out very like lightly. Okay, so now she's going under the eyes with concealer. Finally, so I'm gonna use the shade Fair Beige from e.l.f. She sort of uses like again, like a fluffy type of dense brush. I'm gonna use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. It is like a dense, like fluffy brush. And she goes in with like a lighter type of shade, thank God. Hold on, she's going like way too fast. I don't know how I feel about using like brushes as much as she does. I don't know, I'm just like a beauty blender sponge type of girl, and especially under the eyes, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Alright y'all, so the under eyes are blended. Honestly, I was really skeptical about how it was looking, but I feel like blending it afterwards, it really, I don't know, I'm kind of loving it. So at this point she is baking under the eyes. I'm gonna take a dry e.l.f. sponge and I'm gonna use my air spun. I'm not a big fan of baking at all, but I really just want to I want to try out this technique. Okay, so she does use a powder puff. I have this from the Airspun situation. I've never used it like ever, but she's sort of setting with this. And she's going around the contour, and when I've watched this tutorial, it seems that she actually like leaves the contour alone and just sets it with bronzer, and I'm like terrified. Okay, so it seems like she does add a little bit more powder under the eyes to bake. just like this. And now we're moving on to bronzer. So she seems to kind of like switch back and forth between like two different bronzer shades. So I'm gonna take this Stereo Face 6 color cosmetic disc, SheGlam. This is the SheGlam contouring palette. She's going in with a lighter cool shade and then a super warm shade. So I'm gonna take Chocolate Cake and Noble Tient. I don't know. Noble Tient. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I'm gonna take these two shades right here. And she's going in with a brush like this. Okay, so the face is all nicely bronzed up. She's going in with a highlighter to highlight the nose. She sort of goes in with like this champagne, super like light sort of shade. I'm gonna go in with this Shein face shimmering powder. This is in the shade 04 Mermaid. Okay, I'm gonna take a small pencil brush. Okay, so she's using Flower Well by KKW. I'm gonna go in with e.l.f. Bright Pink blush, and she's using it while she still has like the baking going on. So I'm gonna take this brush right here. Okay, so going back into the Paris Hilton palette, I'm going to take Cupcake with the AOA Studio E134 brush. Okay, and she's just going right under the eyes, just sweeping it back and forth. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into Queen, which is a little bit of a darker brown. Okay, and she seems like she puts that more like right on the lash line. Okay, so she's using sort of like a brightening powder. Honestly, we're like already pretty bright under the eyes, so I'm going to lightly take the shade The Bright Side from the SheGlam Stereo Face palette. It has a little bit more of that pink tone that she's using. She's just using this to sweep right under the eye. She puts a little bit on the center of the forehead just to bring out that highlight. Okay, so she's adding some nude to the waterline. I'm going to take the Cevali, I hope I'm saying that right, Cevali pencil liner in the shade Nude. I'm just going to put that right on the waterline. Alright, so we're moving on to brows. Of course, she's using a brow pencil. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Brunette. The model that she is doing the makeup on is, I mean, she literally has the most gorgeous eyebrows I've ever seen in my life. They are very thick, like super full. So she's really not doing much. She's just like brushing them out and things like that. Of course, I have like a lot more, or a lot less going on, a lot more of an issue going on. So I have to listen, I don't know, she's just filling it in and, you know, just very natural-esque, and I cannot do that. Okay, so she's starting like midway and then she sort of leaves this natural, but listen, we're gonna have to improvise here. So I'm gonna start here. Alright, you guys, we took just about a million years to like fill in the brows. I was really trying to recreate like a very fluffy effect, and I don't know if I did. But she goes in with some clear brow gels. So I'm going to take this brow gel from Ulta Beauty. I just had it like laying around. And this is going to help like set these brows to like stay up. Yo, I'm not even gonna like lie, the brows are looking like a little bit rough, but hopefully it comes together and it, you know, starts to look cohesive with the rest of the makeup look. So let's move on. Okay, so now we are going to highlight. So I'm going to take the Moda Pro Glow brush. This is the BMX-265 brush. She uses like sort of a I don't know, she uses a very unique and particular brush, but I don't have that. Like, I don't even have nothing close to that. Okay, so for highlight, she is taking sort of like a champagne sort of gold. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the e.l.f. Face Duo in White Peach. And I'm gonna grab this extremely blinding highlight. But she does do more of a sort of subtle highlight. So she's just going right across the face. Okay, so for lips, she's taking sort of like a pinky sort of nude. Honestly, I had to really dig deep for this too, because I am just like a brown, nude, sort of light tan sort of girl. So I actually found the Nice Face lip liner in the shade 03. Honestly, I don't even know where I got it from, but I do know that it's nice and creamy, and it is sort of like that pink nudie shade. Okay, so this pink is a little bit more pink than it is like a light nudie pink. So now we're gonna go in with the Juvia's Place Luxe lip liner in So Rare, and she basically like lines the perimeter of the lips. Okay, so she is using like a sort of lighter nude pink. So what I'm going to use today is actually, she's using a lipstick, but I'm going to go in with a lip gloss. This is the Juvia's Place lip gloss in Barely There. It's like a really nice light like nude pink. I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand. Honestly, before I do that though, I'm going to go in with like, I mean literally a smidge of concealer, because I really feel like this pink is like extremely pink and a little bit more on the mauve side. So I want to just lighten it up, especially in the center of the lips, with some concealer. Okay, and she's kind of going like back and forth. I don't even think I'm going to use a Juvia's Place. I think I'm going to stick to like using a lighter concealer, and if I have to go a little bit lighter, I am. But I am going to go back in with the Luxe liner So Rare, because she kind of goes like back and forth. I'm even going to go into the BH Cosmetics Cream Contour Palette and go in with that lightest pale shade. And just lighten this up a little bit. Ooh, that looks really, really nice. Okay, so she's going in with like some cream liner, and I honestly cannot find cream liner to save my life. So I'm just going to go in with the JLB Precision Eyeliner, and she starts off at the very end. Alright y'all, we have the liner on. Honestly, I'm loving how simplistic this makeup look is, but like it looks like I, you know, I'm like cute or whatever. So like, I don't know, it's teaching me that like a little can really go a long way. Like you don't have to like pack on things. So this is the eyeliner. Okay, so she's going in with her, of course, KKW lip gloss. I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip gloss in the shade Gemini, because she has like a lip gloss that has a little bit of like that golden undertone, and this one is like extremely golden. So she places that on the center of the lips. Okay, this lip gloss is a little too like golden for me, so I am gonna take that Juvia's Place Barely There lip gloss and just mix those two. Alright you guys, so she's just going in with some mascara. You know how I feel about mascara before lashes, but I'm just gonna like do what she does. And by the way, I'm taking the Wander Beauty Mile High Club Volume and Length Mascara. This is just like a sample that I got. But you can really take any mascara, because this one is a little bit more on like the bougie side. Alright, so she's applying individual lashes from Ardell. I'm just like not, I don't have the patience for that. So I'm gonna go in with the Kiss lashes. This is the Look So Natural lashes. This is the Look So Natural lashes in the style Sultry. These are like honestly one of my least favorite Kiss lashes, but they are like super natural looking, and they're gonna go perfect for like today's look because she doesn't have like a super wispy like lash. It's just like super natural looking, almost looks like your own lashes. So I'm just gonna like trim these up real quick, and as always I'm gonna apply this with my AOA Super Strip Lash Adhesive. I actually take this right to the lash line. I don't apply it on the actual lashes, especially if they're like natural. I don't know, it just makes more sense to apply to the lash line. Okay, I'm just now noticing that she added some mascara to her lower lash line, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, and one thing I love about applying the lash glue to the actual like lash line is that it doesn't take forever to dry. Wow, okay, so I definitely feel like if you're using these lashes, this is the technique that you definitely want to use, because if you're applying the lash glue to the actual lashes with these super natural lashes, first of all, they barely have a band, so this is like the technique that you need, because when you apply it this way, they look, honestly, they look so pretty. Like, they look like your actual lashes, but like a little more. So you guys, this is the final look. Way too obsessed with this look. Honestly, like today's makeup tutorial, it taught me that you do not need a bunch of makeup to like get a seamless, flawless, beautiful like look. How gorgeous is this? It is just so pretty, so simplistic, so like, it's giving me everything that I need right now, like that I didn't know that I needed. It's just so good, so good. You guys, this is the final look. I really truly enjoyed today's like makeup tutorial so much. If you haven't watched the David Letterman interview with Kim Kardashian West, go ahead and do so. I've watched a couple clips of it and it's like pretty sad, but honestly I'm like obsessed with her makeup in this particular interview. I think I kind of killed it, honestly. And also be sure to check out this makeup tutorial from her makeup artist who did her makeup that day. Her name is Ash K Holm. Make sure you check out her channel. I'm like, this is my first Kim Kardashian recreation that I've done. Kind of obsessed, honestly. I'm kind of obsessed. You guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you would like me to recreate somebody else's makeup look, go ahead and drop it down below. Make sure you subscribe to KrissBeauty before you go. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video, and make sure you turn on your bell notifications, darlings. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.